First, I'm going to talk about a case that was just recently taken down. And this case is about precision policing. It's about targeting the guns, targeting the violence, and targeting those who make weapons available on our streets. This is the type of precision policing that Bob Boyce's detectives are engaged in by helping target those bringing weapons into our city. This is what Dermot Shea is focused on every Thursday morning along with Carlos Gomez at Comstead. This is the type of great work that goes on in this department every single day you often don't hear about. At the heart of this long-term investigation is the trafficking of illegal firearms from South Carolina to New York City. With the key defendants, Colin, Rum, Tony, who the investigation Rum Runner is aptly named after, was the initial target. As alleged in the charging documents, between June 2015 and September 2016, Mr. Tony sold 40 guns to NYPD investigators in Brooklyn and Manhattan. These guns, 40 of them you see right here in front of me, this one right here, will be on our streets, if not for the hard work of the NYPD detectives and the prosecutors in Brooklyn. This is the kind of work we, the police, do every day to keep New Yorkers safe. This violence affected a very busy command like the 6th Precinct on Beverly Road between 21st and 23rd Street, where we've had historical violence. It was in a few other commands also. We will continue to use intelligence and precision to make these cases, focusing all of our attention on those who commit violence, carry out violence, or move, as this case shows, guns into our streets. I'd like to thank the Acting Brooklyn District Attorney, Eric Gonzalez, and his team here today for their work on this case. Today wouldn't be possible without them. I'd also like to thank the late Ken Thompson, who was so focused on cases just like this. So, Eric?
Good morning, Commissioner. Good morning, Chief Gomez, Chief Boyce, Chief Essig, and to my team here. Good morning to everyone here. Thank you for being here with us today. My name is Eric Gonzalez, and I'm the Acting District Attorney of Brooklyn. As you all know, over the weekend, we said farewell to our beloved leader, District Attorney Ken Thompson, and he's on all of our minds today. The flow of these illegal guns into our city was one of DA Thompson's highest priorities, and so I'm happy to be here today to announce another successful long-term investigation to get rid of these guns out of our city. This gun trafficking ring was bringing handguns from South Carolina, and they were intended to hit the city, the borough of Brooklyn. This investigation resulted in over 40 guns, as you see them here today, being recovered and not hitting our streets. This is the 4th time in less than 3 years that we've been here in the Brooklyn District Attorney working in partnership with NYPD to bring down a gun trafficker. These guns were brought from South Carolina. They were purchased legally by a gun runner and then transported here through Chinatown buses and cars. We've heard that before. It continues to be a problem. The lax gun laws down there make it very difficult for us to prevent that from happening. But I'm glad to announce that we've indicted 3 people from South Carolina for bringing guns to Brooklyn, and they sit in Rikers today. Much of the evidence in this case is based on electronic surveillance, and that is an integral weapon in these cases because it allows us to build strong and better cases. It also allows us to find out other acts of criminal activity. And so what happened here is, while we were focusing in on an alleged gun runner, Colin Tony, we learned that he had affiliations with gang members, and that he was an integral part of a larger scheme of guns and financial crimes. He's associated with 2 Brooklyn men that we are alleging are leaders of blood sets in Brooklyn. A guy named Alex Charlot, another guy, Richard Michelle. And on 2 occasions, separate and apart from this gun operation, they were trying to sell guns. And we learned about that, and the NYPD detectives were able to swoop in and intercept those guns so they could not be sold. And now today, those 2 men and 2 others who they work with have been arrested and charged with weapon possession. But there's more to this case, because as we were following this, we learned about an unrelated bank fraud case, and the investigation continued. So we learned that these 2 alleged gang leaders worked with a man from Queens who we allege was the mastermind of a bank fraud case. That guy's name is Julius Salazar. And he had, with associates, recruited people to open bank accounts, or who had bank accounts, and they would sell him their information, their name, their date of birth, their social security number, and any banking credentials, online login materials, so that they could perpetrate this bank fraud. Salazar would get the information for these accounts, and then he would use bogus checks and fraudulent wire transfers to put money into these accounts. He would then monitor those accounts to see when the money cleared. When the money cleared, he would direct the account holders to go to the bank and withdraw the money before the bank realized that they could be, they were getting scammed. And approximately 10 accounts, corporate and individual accounts, were used to steal the money. And although those people were not out the money because the banks are going to reimburse them, this really impacted ordinary citizens. We discovered that Salazar and his accomplices intended to steal over $60,000 in a pretty short period of time, and we've been able to confirm that they've been successful in stealing about $37,000. So today we charged and have arrested 15 people as part of that bank fraud scheme. So this was a very successful and smart, multifaceted investigation. It really linked the gang problem that we have in Brooklyn with financial crimes and gun trafficking. In addition to keeping these 40 guns off the street, we were able to stomp out a bank fraud case. And that's important because often the money that's used from credit card frauds and bank fraud is used to further more gang activity. I'd like to thank the NYPD and the detectives that worked this case. My team of prosecutors who worked diligently on this case. They did a fantastic job. This is a reminder that we're going to continue to target gun traffickers in Brooklyn. D.A. Thompson used to refer to them as merchants of death. I think that's an apt name for them. And we're going to continue to target gang members, whether they shoot at each other, they commit bank fraud, credit card fraud. We're not going to stand for their conduct. And I hope this is a testament to people down south that we're going to continue to arrest you and drag you to Rikers if you try to bring these guns to our borough. Thank you.